You're on.
Hey, sorry we're starting a minute late here. I just had to get dressed up for the BombCast. Actually, I didn't. It's fake. See? This is what you think you need to be on video. This is what you can be on video, who you are. Hey, we're being joined by Eric Peltier, who is a mortgage professional up in Boulder, Colorado with CityWide Home Loans. Welcome, Eric.
Hi.
And so the BombCast, of course, is our effort to help you learn new video strategies from people who are doing it every day, the everyday heroes of the BombBomb community. Eric has been with us. It'll be 3 years in January rather, and he's got more than 1,300 videos in his BombBomb account. So we're going to learn a little bit about what he's doing. And I have 3 specific tactics that I particularly love that we're going to get into, Eric. You know what they are, but you don't know how I've numbered them. You don't know exactly what they are, but you know them because you're doing them every single day. So Eric, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and how you got turned on to video.
Yeah, thanks, Ethan. I'm originally, oddly enough, a civil engineer. I'm from Minnesota. I've been doing mortgages for 15 years. I lend in Colorado and California. I'm in Boulder, Colorado, like you said. I've got a family. I got 3 daughters and 1 more on the way.
Awesome.
We like our hobby is traveling. How did I get into video? Do you want me to just jump right into the thing about talking to clients offline? I got into video because as originally an engineer, I've got a lot of clientele that are engineers, scientists, computer programmers, and they all tend to be sort of heads down introvert people. They don't like phone calls. Okay, we're trained as mortgage people to call on anniversaries, call on birthdays. And a lot of times the call would be something like this, where I'd call up and I'd say, "Hey, Bob, it's your anniversary. You're getting your home mortgage." And they'd say, "Thanks. Yeah, I'm at work now. Can we
right.
call me later?"
Yeah.
And it was always uncomfortable. And, but I still needed to get to touch people yearly in this way. And I don't remember exactly how I found BombBomb. But I did a few of these videos where I could record them and then they would interact with me on their own time in their pajamas at midnight or whatever worked for them. And it was a way to get even more than just a voice on the phone. I could get my face in front of them too on their own time.
Super powerful. So what Eric just gave you there is the idea that when you can't get people directly, or people don't want to be gotten directly, or if you're not getting that phone picked up as often as you used to, this asynchronicity where you, Eric, are probably time blocking, and we'll get a little bit into how you're doing some of these things. You record when it's convenient for you, and then people open it up and experience it in person, experience you in person when it's convenient for them. So it's super powerful. Just go one step further, and then we'll maybe get into some examples. Why is it so important for you to find these occasions? In this case, you mentioned a home anniversary, like a loan origination anniversary on your side of it. Why is it so important for you to do this on a regular basis?
In the mortgage industry, people don't need us monthly. I'm not a hairstylist or something like that. We got to be able to stay in touch with people, just sort of buying a brain cell a few times a year, or maybe, if you subscribe to some of the coaches, 26 times a year or something like that. Because people need us about once every 5 years, or maybe a little less than that. And I gotta be in their inbox. They gotta be reminded that I'm out there, or they just decide that I'm not in the industry or something like that.
Sure. What were you doing prior to sending these personal videos? And we're going to see a birthday example, and we're going to see one of these home anniversary examples. Prior to sending out these videos, were you exclusively making phone calls or doing anything else?
I was trying phone calls. Like I said, a lot of times they weren't all that pleasant. And, on birthdays, I was sending out, I used to send out like a Netflix gift card and a thing of popcorn. And I really got no feedback on that at all.
Sure.
The birthday ones are a lot of fun to record. And a lot of times people email me back and say, that was like the best greeting I got all day. I had one person who once said, my family doesn't even send me a personalized birthday greeting. And so it's fun, and it really doesn't take much time.
That's awesome. I love that you get that give and take, and it really is a relationship play. And so the whole theme here is obviously staying top of mind. So when the opportunity does arise, they don't go out to the internet and wind up in some portal and wind up with someone besides you. It's to create that repeat and hopefully referral business as well. So Matt, why don't you queue up for us the first example, since you teed up the birthday, which is a lot better and a lot more unique than typing happy birthday on someone's Facebook wall. Let's see that example.
Hey Kim, it's Eric Peltier with CityWide Home Loans, sending you a video today to wish you a very happy birthday and to tell you about other famous people you share your birthday with. Here's the list. You share your birthday with the author Dostoevsky, born in 1821, General George Patton, born in 1885, writer Kurt Vonnegut, born in 1922, comedian Jonathan Winters, born in 1925, recently retired Senator Barbara Boxer, born in 1940, actresses Demi Moore, born in 1962, Callista Flockhart, born in 1964, and actor Leonardo DiCaprio, born in 1974. Hope you're having a wonderful birthday. I look forward to helping you, your friends, your family, anybody you might know that needs a mortgage. Happy birthday.
So that one was, it was a great one. There was some blend of Callista Flockhart as well as Vonnegut. So, so I want you to talk to that. So this isn't just a simple birthday video. This is a birthday video with kind of a delight and surprise value add for people. Talk to me about, was this an evolution for you, or did you just out of the gate when you started doing birthday videos include famous people's birthdays? By the way, that's my first tactic of Eric's that I really, really love and haven't seen before. Talk to me about the development of that idea.
You know, I think I've been doing that for as long as I've been on BombBomb, so roughly 3 years, and I don't know exactly how I came up with that. I do remember, I do somewhat recall doing it via email a long time ago, where I would just type them up in email and put the birthdays in. Obviously, that gets a lot less readership. It's just an email. It's you know, I think people are just bombarded with too much text email. And I know I've said this to you guys, and I joke that the little triangle on the BombBomb video, nobody can not push the little triangle. It's addictive. Whether you're a millennial or you're 70 years old, the little triangle is, you can't stop, you can't not push it. And
yeah,
people,
especially the way you do it when it's just for you, it's just for one person. And so, yeah, that triangle represents something special. There's something else you did there that I really, really like that a lot of people struggle with, which is the ask, right? Like, so you made yourself available at the end of the video. So it was, hey, I forget the person's name. Hey, Mary, happy birthday. Do you know you share your birthday with these interesting people? And then you have a little bit of an ask there. And some people struggle with that. Talk to me a little bit about the subtle art of closing a video with a polite, making yourself available.
The subtle art of asking for business. I can't paint myself as a master of that. But it's just so easy to say once you sort of get your little script down. I just want people to remember me with their family and friends and frenemies and anybody that wants a mortgage. It's so easy to say at the end. I don't even think I'm saying it anymore after recording 500 of those things.
Yeah. So, so was it a struggle out of the gate? Because that, I mean, where you are now, again, so Eric has sent, again, over 1,300 videos out of his BombBomb account and about several hundred at a minimum of these birthday videos. So it's very natural to you. So if you're watching this and you've tried this before and struggled, did you have various formulations of it, or did you just keep doing it and it just got more and more comfortable?
It gets really comfortable, and it's really scripted. If you watch 10 of those, I say almost the exact same thing other than the person's birthdays. I can just pretty much rip it off. The thing that's important here is, like I said, I'm an engineer originally, and I'm a bit of an introvert. And there are times of the day where I don't really want to record things on camera. And I've learned that I just shouldn't record things at that time. But when I do feel like I can do it, when I feel a little bit of that sort of extrovertedness, I've always got my list right next to me. I got my birthday list and I got my anniversary list. They're right here on my desk. And when the mood strikes me, I'm ready to do it. I don't have to, rearrange things and somehow, set things up. I've always got BombBomb open. I'm always ready to record these if I feel a little bit extroverted at that moment in time. That's not really an answer to your question. But
no, that's super helpful. Yeah, it's super helpful. And I'm actually going to build off that a little bit so that people who saw that example, and we're going to see a couple more, talk to me about your video setup. By my observation, you're using the BombBomb Quick Send, which is just in the top right corner of your account. You hit it, it opens up the email, and you record the video straight into it and send it all in one pass. And what do you have? Are you using a built-in webcam or a plug-in webcam? And do you have anything special going on at your office, or are you just knocking out hellos?
No, it's nothing very special. I've got a Logitech webcam. When I got it a few years ago, I just tried to buy the best one they had. There's probably better ones now. Maybe it looks good. I hardly ever look at what it looks like, so I don't know if it looks good or not. But so it's just that. My laptop is on a docking station, so and actually the webcam on my laptop's not very good anyway. And I think the audio on this webcam is pretty good as well. And like I said, I've always got BombBomb open, so I'm ready to use it. I think one of the more challenging things I deal with is I'm in front of a wall of windows, and the sun comes in and sort of blasts me. So I do. You talked about time blocking. I do try to get all my videos done in the morning when the lighting in my office is better. If you dig through my BombBomb list, you can find some videos that I had to record at times of the day where the lighting is awful. Sometimes I just apologize in the video. I'm like, sorry, the lighting's terrible. I can't fix it. I do have a little, I do have this little thing. I don't know what it's called. It's a light.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
I think it's made to like clip onto a iPad or a phone. It's for like bloggers. It was cheap, and it puts out enough light that it'll offset the backlight that happens late in the day in my office. So. Cool.
So to recap there, no real special equipment, although that's a cool little light.
I don't know what it's called.
And so you're just...
Here it is. It's called Chat Light.
Chat Light?
It's called Chat Light. Clips onto things.
Cool, little battery operated thing.
Yeah.
Neat. There you go. So there's a gadget of the day. When you don't have the light the way you want it, and you still need to send that video anyway. And I'm going to go out on a limb that even when you're sending videos, when the sun's coming through the blinds, and so you're maybe a little bit overlit, no one's ever replied and said, I'm not going to answer your question, or I'm not going to say thank you for that birthday message.
Right.
Too much light on you.
Right.
Cool. So let's go ahead and look at another example here, Matt. This one's going to be a home anniversary. So you saw Eric hold up his two lists, the birthday list and the home anniversary list. And there's a really cool, the second tactic that I love in these one-to-one videos is going to be baked in here. So we'll watch it, try to identify it yourself as a viewer, and then we'll talk about it briefly.
All right, here we go. Hey, Owen, this is Eric Peltier with CityWide Home Loan, sending you a video today to wish you a happy 2-year anniversary of buying your property on Edgewood. I hope you're still enjoying that property. I really enjoyed working with you on that transaction. I know Andy Hawk did as well. If you, your friends, your family, anybody you might know needs a mortgage, please look me up. My contact information is right down there below. And I can certainly put you in touch with Andy. I know he'd love to help your friends and family with any kind of real estate deals that they have going. So hope you're having a wonderful summer. Maybe we're transitioning to fall here. But I look forward to talking to you again. Happy anniversary. Thanks.
So simple, well under a minute. You've probably done that video 1,000 times. You reach out to them. You tell them how long they've been in their home. Congratulate them on the anniversary. Reference the street name, of course. And what's the other element that you include? This is my second tactic that I love that you're doing. What's the other element you include besides the person, the year, and their street?
Did you play one of the ones that I call out the realtor?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's totally, I don't know, that's almost a cheap gimmick. But what I do when I send that out to the clients that bought a house is I call out the real estate agent. I think that one said Andy. And I just say, Andy would love working with you as well on another transaction. And I typically look up and see, is the person still in the business or anything like that?
Sure.
But I call out the real estate agent, and then I copy the real estate agent on the video. And a few of them have emailed me back and said, thanks for doing my marketing for me, because they're all told by Tom Ferry or Buffini or something like that, contact people on the anniversaries, and they all know they should do it, but not everybody does.
Right. That's awesome. I love that you include them, and I love that you copy them on it so that they know that you're doing it, because your repeat and referral business doesn't just come from your from the consumers who are doing loans with you. Of course, it comes from your agent network.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're not in mortgage or you're not necessarily in real estate, think about who your partners and your suppliers and your vendors, who are the other people that are co-creating your service with you? Who do you rely on? Who do you work with? And when you're doing some of these consumer-oriented touches, include them. And as Eric does, copy them on it. So A, they know they're doing it. And B, they know that you are paying attention to what's going on with them. It's a really cool tactic. Now, is that one that evolved, Eric, or is that something that just occurred to you one day and you just started doing it?
I think B. It occurred to me that I could send these out. I could copy the real estate agent, even if I have no relationship with the real estate agent. I haven't had any communication with them for years. I just do it anyway. What does it hurt? It hurts nobody. And people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really clever. Hey, if you're just joining us, my name is Ethan Butte with BombBomb. I'm joined by Eric Peltier, who is a mortgage loan professional up in Boulder, Colorado with CityWide Home Loans. He's been with us 3 years as a BombBomb customer, sent well over 1,300 videos. We just watched a couple one-to-one videos that he does on a very, very regular basis. They account for hundreds and hundreds of the videos that he's done. We're now going to transition, Eric, into one of your mass sends. You don't do very many mass sends. And so we're going to and as a bonus, on this episode of the BombCast, we're going to give away this handsome t-shirt. In fact, we're going to give away 3 of them to people who ask questions. So if you've been thinking about asking a question and you're watching us live here on Facebook, we also stream live to YouTube and to bombbomb.com/bombcast. But if you're on YouTube, on Facebook rather, you can interact with us directly. Allie and some of our other team members are over here. They're watching that live exchange. And so after the episode wraps, we're just going to pull 3 people at random who asked a question, and we will send you one of these handsome t-shirts. So with that, let's talk about how many different types of mass sends do you do on a regular basis? Is this weekly? We're going to see a Monday Mortgage Minute that you send to a select portion of your agent network. What types of mass sends have you done?
Very, very little, actually. I've really felt the benefit of BombBomb for me and my business has been the one-on-one things that we've covered over the last 10 minutes. But I have been doing these Monday Mortgage Minute videos. I kind of restarted them. I did them a while back, maybe a year ago, and honestly, it took a lot of effort. And I didn't feel like I was as smooth on camera. I've gotten a lot smoother on camera, and I can deliver these Monday Mortgage Minutes a little bit more fluidly. And I just keep them to like 3 minutes. I don't go way in depth. It's real estate and mortgage information that would be interesting to my realtors. And I think my realtor list right now is like about 52. Mm-hmm. Some of those realtors I've only met. I've had a good relationship with them, but they're not even people that I'm in close contact with, or they're sending me business. But until they unsubscribe from my Monday, list, then I figure it's harmless to send it to them, and maybe they're watching it, and maybe they're getting something from it. Maybe they'll come around and be a referral source eventually. But that's awesome. The only mass send that I do. I've thought about doing mass sends to my entire database of email addresses, which is, I don't know what my CRM's got, maybe 2,000 email addresses. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I think I want my production value to increase a little bit before I send out maybe a monthly. And that's probably a goal for 2018, is send a monthly mass one to my entire database.
Yeah, so let's, I guess before we see the example, because the conversation is right here to be had, I'm going to guess that one of your other, besides production value, which is something to think about, right? So when you're sending one-to-one, it's really easy just to pop open your phone and talk to people, or get on your webcam as you do almost every day, if not every day. But when you're sending to thousands of people, you maybe think twice about your production value. But another thing people get hung up on, and I'm wondering if this is the case for you, is like, what would I say to all these people on a regular basis? What kind of messages? What would be interesting? You've obviously figured it out a little bit for your real estate community. So maybe start there and then talk about the consumer side. like, how do you approach what you're going to include in that mortgage minute, and kind of what is the range of topics there, and what might you do for a consumer side?
For the mortgage minute, as the week goes on, I just collect little bits of information that a lot of it just hits my inbox from mortgage-related industry emails, things that might be interesting to the real estate agents. I try to toss in something that's sort of real estate related, but not. I don't know. I think the last one that I did, I talked about now's a good time to like turn down your thermostat and save some money and all this stuff. And actually, I have my wife, sometimes she'll send me links that were interesting to her, topics that were interesting to her in real estate, and I can talk about those really quickly in the mortgage minute, because it's kind of like getting an outsider's perspective. I'm sort of, bathed every day in, boring mortgage crap. And it's better to get, some information from somebody who's outside it a little bit. But to answer your question about the consumer one, I haven't exactly figured out what I want to do for that. I don't have an answer.
You've got tactics that are tried and true, so I never hurts to stick to those. Hey, Matt, let's go ahead and watch at least the first part, because these videos are about 3 minutes long. Let's just watch the first part of a somewhat recent mortgage minute. Judging by the color of the leaves on the tree, it's probably about 4 to 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
All right. Hey everybody, it's Eric Peltier with CityWide Home Loans. Thanks for watching my Monday video. I'll be really quick with it. Had the pleasure of going up to Nederland and touring some of the homes up at Caribou Ridge, which is I think it's 35 home sites on 35 acres, so everybody's got about an acre. Very, very gorgeous views. Construction quality seems pretty good too. I'm really impressed with how they're building these things. So now I'm going to transition over to me sitting in a boring office. Hey, I decided not to go back to my office and record against a blank wall. I found a nice park and a gorgeous tree, and I thought this would be a better spot to finish out my video. Thanks again. It's October 23rd. Thanks for watching my video.
Okay, so you're out in Nederland where they're building some beautiful new homes on property. They had acreage. I think you said every home had an acre.
Yeah.
You threatened to go back to your boring office, but you didn't. So that was a really fun edit. For anyone watching, he could have, we chatted about this before we went live, he could have, with our iPhone or Android app, you can pause and continue recording. So we could have done that edit in our mobile app. You can also flip front camera to back camera. But in this case, you're trying out some different techniques, which is something you kind of mentioned indirectly before, is kind of messing a little bit or experimenting a little bit with how you're producing your videos. How did you do that one in particular?
That one, I have a GoPro, and I just was using a selfie stick with a GoPro at the end, just trying that out. I switch back and forth depending on where I'm going to record it. I switch back and forth between the GoPro and I have a SLR that has a mic input. The mic input is important because occasionally it's very windy and I need to have a lapel mic right up next to me. GoPro audio is not super, but it's really convenient and fast.
Awesome. Well, I like that blend of convenience and speed. And you're exactly right about shooting outside. Do you shoot outside often?
I'm trying to do those videos, those Monday Mortgage Minutes outside because, you can see the background in my office. I got a nice picture, but it's pretty static. And going outside, I'm in Boulder, Colorado. It's gorgeous here. There's lots of good backgrounds. So
yeah,
just like Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's a great tip. And no matter where you live, there's something interesting or lovely that you can incorporate by going outside. I like the fresh air myself, but you do introduce other variables, like you mentioned the wind. And so finding some solutions there. Are you an equipment guy? Are you like into the equipment, or did you just find something that was good enough and it's good enough?
I'm not that much of an equipment guy. I mean, I have a digital SLR because I like taking photos. The GoPro is just something that I got recently, partially because it's quick and easy. It fits on the end of a selfie stick, which an SLR doesn't. And it's good image stabilization. But no, I don't have lots of like fancy microphones and stuff like, I don't have lights, none of that.
Cool. And
other than this little light, that's it.
Sure. Neat. And what's the name of that thing again?
Chat Light.
Chat Light. We talked about that about 10 or 15 minutes ago. So if you missed that portion, just bounce back. It's a cool little device he has in his office.
It just takes care of some bad lighting that comes into my windows sometime during the day. I think I got it on Amazon.
Okay.
I think. Yep.
Chat Light. So in just a minute, we're going to give away 3 of these t-shirts with your Q&A. So go ahead and type your questions into Facebook. If you're not watching us live on Facebook, you can bounce over to facebook.com/BombBomb, catch the live feed there. That's where we tend to do the interactive portion of the show, and we welcome your questions. And I am also going to get into the third and final one-to-one tactic that I love. But first, I want to ask one more question about those videos. Do you edit them? So like you come back with your GoPro, like do you edit them? And if so, what?
Yeah.
I'm asking because people are wondering.
Yeah, I do a minimal amount of editing. I have like no editing skills other than clip. That's it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, occasionally I try to just record in one big long. I don't push the pause button and stop and all that stuff. I just restart. And so then I stitch it all together into so it flows better. But I don't have any kind of, I have like the movie maker that came on my, laptop. It's nothing special. I think it's a free piece of software.
Yep, cool. So your Windows machine or your Mac machine comes with free, absolutely basic video editing software. It doesn't take a lot. It's pretty easy to do. And he's just chopping and deleting the parts he doesn't want and putting the ones together that he does. By the way, when I take my camcorder out and shoot on my own, I do the same thing as I just hit record and I keep going until I get it the way I want it and then chop the ends off and move on.
Yeah. And the nice, the funny thing about video editing, it used to be very mysterious, but YouTube has sort of democratized all this stuff. If you want to know how to use a piece of software, somebody has shown you on YouTube. It takes just minutes to find somebody showing you how to do the basics of video editing.
Yeah, that's a great tip too. So, and I would say that for a lot of different software, if not most software. The other neat thing too is when you start going down that road of searching for editing in a particular piece of software or a style of editing or something, you might actually run into a channel that you may go back to over and over and over again because there's the good, the bad, and the ugly out there when you just go straight into YouTube looking for answers. And so when you find the good, pay attention to what channel you found it on because you're bound to find other good tips there as well. Hey, so we've talked 3 of my favorite tactics that you employ. 1 is in the birthday videos using famous people's birthdays. 2, when you are reaching out on home anniversaries, mentioning the agent that was on the deal and mentioning by name and then copying them on that. Another one you have, I'm going to talk about it at a high level and then we'll dial it into your personal mortgage situation. Eric's developed something really clever where he's using in competitive situations where there's a gatekeeper to the opportunity and he can't get straight to the opportunity or the decision maker. He's recording a video for the decision maker and using the gatekeeper as a means to get that video to him or her. So why don't you talk about what you're doing here to get to people who you don't have direct access to?
Yeah. So a lot of times when let's use a real estate agent. So when a real estate agent says, hey, I gave your name to Bob and Susie home buyer, and they're going to be calling you to talk about a mortgage. The reality is it's a competitive industry, and the first person who contacts those clients in a meaningful way is probably the person who's going to land the deal. And so, but the real estate agent typically will not give me the email addresses or the phone numbers of Bob and Susie because they don't want a salesperson hounding them. I understand.
And interrupting their flow.
Well, right. It's just kind of standard in this industry. They'll let us know that they gave out our name, but they won't give us the contact information. So I just ask the real estate agent immediately. I say, well, if I record a video for Bob and Susie, will you forward it on to them? And they never say no because it's harmless. I didn't have to get their email address. I just record a video introducing myself. I try to say something meaningful. If I got a little bit of information out of the real estate agent about, they're looking for a low down payment thing, or they need to own 2 houses at the same time or something like that, I'll mention that and I'll talk about a tactic or my experience with that. Send that video off to the real estate agent. They always forward it on, and it really has, honestly, it's landed me deals where people like the interaction. They immediately see me. I'm not just a name. I'm not an email signature, or just a picture and an email signature. They've seen me and seen how I communicate, and it works.
That's awesome. I love that tactic. It's the third of, I'm sure, many, but those are the three we're going to explore today. Again, if you just joined us recently, my name is Ethan with BombBomb. We're joined by Eric Peltier, who is a mortgage loan professional up in Boulder, Colorado, CityWide Home Loans. We've played three of his examples. He's shared some of the things that he's doing every day to make more meaningful touches with prospects and with clients, as well as other people in his network, primarily real estate agents. We're going to go to Q&A here, and during Q&A, we're going to give away 3 of these BombBomb t-shirts. So if you've been wondering anything, if anything Eric has shared with you has triggered a question for you, whether it's about how he gets his videos made, one of the specific examples you saw, or anything else, just type that into Facebook, and Allie, one of our team members, is going to be joining us and sharing some of the questions that we're getting. Do we have some questions?
Yeah, we've got questions.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's not just my mom asking a question.
No,
That's fine.
it's not your mom. I haven't seen her on there yet. My mom would do the same thing. Okay, so the first question I'm going to use is from Krista. She says, what resources do you use to get your birthdays in your system so you know?
That is, it's an easily overlooked detail, but it's obviously fundamentally important to get that. How do you do it?
It's Wikipedia. I just was working on it before I came here. You go to Wikipedia, you type in the date. I got December 1st, and I just scribble them down on a sticky note, and I stick them up on my camera, and I just read them off from there. But yeah, it's just Wikipedia.
Cool. And the client birthdays, of course, are just part of the transaction documentation.
Oh yeah. Did I misunderstand? You're asking how I got the famous people birthdays. That was the first question?
Sure. Both. Let's talk about both.
Well, Wikipedia is how I get the famous people birthdays. And then, I just have people's birthdays because that's part of the mortgage file. Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
But if you want to know a funny little trick, if you want to start doing this for people that maybe your database is not huge, go to Facebook. I forget what it's called. There's like a little calendar thing on the upper left. You click on the calendar and it'll just show you month by month, and it'll highlight any of your Facebook friends that have a birthday that they've told Facebook about. It's all in the calendar, and you could create you could put it all into your CRM. So you've got a bunch of birthdays, even if you're not in a business that has people's birthdays.
That is a killer pro tip. Look for that feature up in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another question that we have is from Dick. He would like to know if you use videos to update people throughout the loan process.
Oh yeah. We've mostly been talking about how I use BombBomb to market. But yeah, I do Wednesday and Friday video emails during a transaction for all the purchases that I do. Just keeps everybody up to date. Nobody has to wonder what's the mortgage guy doing? Has the loan file been just sort of molding on the corner of the desk? They want to know that I'm on top of it. It's a very, very, very time sensitive business that we're in, getting a mortgage from the beginning to the closing. And everybody's got a horror story about a mortgage person that didn't communicate. Nobody knew. Well, nobody knows what he's doing. We haven't heard from him in a week, and he won't return our calls. I never want this. I never want it. So I send those out Wednesday and Friday.
Cool. Comment and question on that from me. That's a great question, Dick. Comment. So observation, really. So you're copying the handful of people that are involved in the transaction all in one, short 1-minute video update?
Yeah, it's about a minute. I copy the buyer's agent, the listing agent, the buyers. Sometimes there's a transaction coordinator or two. Occasionally, I even have the email addresses of the sellers, and I copy them on it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's very short. I'll say, hey, the appraisal's ordered. The appraiser's going to go out to the property on Thursday. It's just very, very high level information. Since I work for the buyer, I don't ever provide information about the deal that shouldn't be provided to the sales side of the deal. But that gets more into the mechanics of real estate deals.
Sure. And then the question there is, has anyone ever replied and complained that they knew too much about the transaction and what was going on?
Maybe, but I'm really careful to not divulge information that the sales side shouldn't know. I do have one real estate agent who just doesn't like my Wednesday and Friday video updates. I work with her a lot, and she's just like, I really don't want to watch them, which is hilarious.
You don't have to. Yeah, my observation there was that over communicating is a far better sin than under communicating, based on the nightmare scenarios you described off the top.
Yeah. I say that I want to be accused of over communication someday. Hasn't happened yet, but BombBomb certainly helps. I know I'm not doing a very good BombBomb commercial by saying that I have a realtor that doesn't like watching videos, but there are people out there that, sorry.
Yeah. Well, something that I always say is you don't send your 1,300th video if the 1,299 before were not a benefit to you and your business.
Right.
Okay, last question. I'm going to elaborate on this one a little bit more. So Michael wants to know how you're collecting new contact information from leads that come in through the internet.
I don't actually buy mortgage leads. It's not something that I do. There's a lot of people in my industry who do that. So I don't buy them. I do have a really good Yelp profile. I get a lot of business because my Yelp profile is 5 stars. But, I've got a few processes where as soon as I've got a lead, if I've got a birthday or anything, it goes into my CRM so that it's ready to, act on when their birthday comes up. I don't know, does that answer the question, do you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that person's asking specifically about purchase leads, and I don't actually do that.
Yeah, or forms of some sort, just where people can fill in their email address or something like that. We have forms through BombBomb, which are a great feature, especially for real estate agents when they're holding open houses and such. So he was just wondering if there's a similar process for mortgage, I believe.
Oh, yeah, and I do help hold open houses with real estate agents, but we don't collect birthday information. It's pretty much just emails. Oh, and that is one thing that I do when I host an open house with a real estate agent, and we get all the emails. I send a BombBomb video out to everybody that provided an accurate email address, just introducing myself again if they met me at the open house. I do say in the video, I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to put you permanently in my CRM to get a whole bunch of information from me. It's just a way for them to have my video in their inbox if they need to find me again. That's another odd thing that I'm just going off the cuff here is I find that people leave the videos in their inbox a long time. There's the function where BombBomb tells me if somebody played the video. I usually click on that button. I don't always, in fact, I rarely click on the button that says, what is it?
Notify me when it gets opened.
Notify me when it's opened. I used to do that a lot. And occasionally I'll get a notification via email that somebody opened an email from like 2 years ago.
Happens to me all the time too.
It indicates to me that people are saving it. Everybody's got a different way of managing their inbox, but I think most people delete a lot, but people are saving videos.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And so that's a neat thing again about the just going all the way back to the top, the asynchronicity of this video where you created some time after you maybe co-hosted an open house. You reach out to 15 or 20 people with personal one-to-one videos when it's convenient for you. And some of them watch it 5 seconds after they get it, 5 minutes, some people 5 hours, some people 5 days. And as you described, 5 months or maybe even 5 years. Yeah. It's funny paying attention to my feed as well, where I see, it's just that day where Mary is going to go ahead and learn all the things that she wanted to know about BombBomb. And so Mary opened this, Mary opened that, Mary opened this, Mary opened that. Newsletters from 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So the analytics, I love that you touched on that. Are we going to do any more questions? We're going to close this down. What are we doing?
We're good. Yeah. We got our 3 giveaways. So Krista, Dick, and Michael will get their t-shirts. We'll message you so we can get your sizes and get you in there. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, Eric, we thank you so much for making us part of what you do. It's an honor for us to be part of the way that you're continuing to maintain relationships with people and build new relationships with people every day in your business. And really appreciate your time on the BombCast. And most importantly, this is something that another honor of ours, thanks to you and the other folks that have joined us on the BombCast, being so willing and able to share what you're doing and what works and leading by giving. It's awesome. So we appreciate you very much, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And thanks for BombBomb for making it so easy to do this type of marketing.
Awesome. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you to everyone who joined us on this episode. Again, this is something that we do about twice a month, and we want to bring people like Eric forward so you can learn how people that are doing this every single day are incorporating video. And you said this several times, Eric, instead of plain taped out text that doesn't communicate as well as you do when you talk. It doesn't differentiate you from any competitors, and it doesn't help people feel connected to you in the way that a simple personal video does. So well done, Eric. Thank you again, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, later.
See ya.